Tempo.co, 17th of January 2024, do the top 7 nations have the highest debt to China, including Indonesia? China uses the high-interest debt trap as one of its weapons in its all-out fight against the rest of the globe for global dominance, using it to subjugate weaker countries. Large-scale, high-interest loans for public and private projects have been given to developing nations through China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The program started in 2013 and aims to invest in 70 countries and international organizations. China's Belt and Road Initiative has ensnared low- and middle-income nations in a $385 billion covert debt. The money is utilized to construct land infrastructure, railroads, and ports, which ought to be nationalized in the amount written off as debt in a colonial manner. Aid Data, an international development research center housed at William & Mary's Global Research Institute, reports that throughout the previous 18 years until 2017, China funded 13,427 projects totaling $843 billion in 165 countries. According to data gathered by the World Bank, 97 countries are under Chinese debt, according to Forbes, which cited the nation Thailand. Most nations with substantial loans to China are found in Africa, with a smaller number also located in Central, Southeast, and Pacific Asia. In 2022, low-income nations owed 37% of their total debt to China, compared to only 24% of their bilateral debt to the rest of the globe. The list of the top 7 captive nations with the most debt to China is as follows. 1. Pakistan. China's participation in different infrastructure projects under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC) plan has left Pakistan with a $77.3 billion debt. Questions have been expressed regarding Pakistan's ability to pay back the loan. 2. The Angolan. Angola, a country in southern Africa, is one of China's most prominent African customers, owing Beijing $36.3 billion for its domestic oil sector and infrastructure projects. 3. Ethiopia. Ethiopia consented to take out loans from China totaling $7.9 billion. China promised to lend $13.7 billion by 2020, but just around half of that amount has been documented, and it's unclear when the debt will be repaid, according to Reuters. 4. Kenya. Kenya owes China $7.4 billion in total. When current Kenyan President William Ruto granted credit for the construction of a standard gauge railway (SGR) project that connects the port of Mombasa to the country's capital, Nairobi, the number of loans from China increased during the first years of Uhuru Kenyatta's 2013 to 2022 government. 5. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka defaulted on its $6.8 billion loan to China in May 2022. Consequently, China was granted possession of Sri Lanka's southern port, Hambantota, on a 99-year lease. 6. The Maldives. The Maldives' debt to China reached $6.39 billion at the end of the first quarter of 2022, or 113% of GDP, according to figures issued by the Ministry of Finance of the Maldives. China is funding the construction of airports and the Sinamali Bridge, among other projects. 7. Bangladesh. For infrastructural and industrial projects such as Dasharkandi STP, Infosarkar Phase 3, multi-lane tunnel under Karnafuli River, and Rajshahi surface water treatment plant, Bangladesh owes China $4 billion. What about Indonesia? As of November 2023, Indonesia had loans to China totaling $27.08 billion, according to data from Bank Indonesia, by Indonesia External Debt Statistics, SALNI. However, the data does not explain the amount of debt that has been paid off but is still outstanding.